Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Steve with Real Progressives, and I'm getting ready to go into an early morning doctor's appointment. But before I do that, last night there was a great, big, huge election that went on in the UK. And, obviously we saw Labour pick up quite a few seats. I wasn't there to count the votes. I'm not there to judge the election. I have no idea of the electoral struggles they may or may not have in the UK. But let's just say that populism is rising. Let's just say that the left is rising around the world. And, as we real progressives look at one another and we seek out what it is that we want for the long term, right? We got to realize that we didn't get screwed overnight, and we're not going to get fixed overnight. No matter how much we want it to be a quick rip of the Band-Aid and just getting right to it, it's not going to happen like that. So we're going to need to stay determined and not get discouraged and not look at it just as electoral politics. So much of this is the tide that we have to change the way people think all the way across the spectrum, and for as long as it takes to make the kinds of changes that we need to make. Because what I see is cynicism creeping into our movement. And cynicism, to me, is a sign that you didn't realize the system was already fucked. If you didn't already know the system was fucked, it's real easy to get caught up in cynicism. Because cynicism says, oh shit, I had really high hopes and they got dashed, and now all of a sudden, oh my God. Well, if you're ready to fight, somebody who is a warrior that really understands what it is that we're up against, you know that this is a long ass battle. We truly did not get here overnight, and we're not going to fix it overnight. I'll say that again. We did not get here overnight. We're not going to fix it overnight. So for those of you who are looking for perfection before you'll deign it worth your time, for those of you who have gotten caught up in sadness and looking at everything in a very, very dim, dark light, buck up for real, because this battle's just beginning. I mean, seriously, all around the world, in Australia, in England, in the United States, all over the place, populism is rising. The left is rising. And it's not just the left, it's the 99%. People are realizing that they really have been screwed, and the system itself has been the one guilty of the screwing. So for people to wake up, that's a huge deal, getting people to wake up. People need to wake up, for sure. But the people that are already woke up need to stay determined and in the fight. Swear to God, if you look back a year ago and think about some of the names that you got used to seeing, the names that you got used to seeing just on social media alone, and you realize how many of them have checked out, that aren't around anymore. They got discouraged. They went off and decided that they were going to sink back into the matrix or whatever. Those people right there, I feel really bad for them, because they're quitting 5 minutes before the miracle, okay? But for the rest of us, if you really, really thought that you were going to go out there and you were going to make all these wonderful changes overnight, that suddenly the next election was going to equal everything that we ever thought it would be and then some, you're wrong. And it's not just the broken system, folks, it's the broken citizens. The broken citizens have stopped believing, have stopped caring, have checked out. And as long as they're checked out, the people that are checked in, that have been screwing the system to begin with, will continue to run roughshod over our lives. So do not lose heart. Stay in the game. Stay in the mix. And seriously, continue educating people. Don't get caught up in personalities. Do not get caught up. And yes, net neutrality needs to absolutely be addressed right now. We need to defend the net, because that is our real communication path with each other right now. And if they take that away in any way, shape, or form, if they hinder our ability to communicate and organize, that is a huge deal right now that we have no real answer for without it. So we have absolutely got to look at ourselves and say, it's not an issue of that cult of personality. It's not an issue of the next election. It is 1000% about waking one another up, reinvigorating the public purpose, and reinvigorating citizens to get back in the game. If we lose that, we lose everything. That really is the key. Because the people in power want to stay in power. And they will stay woke in their own world. We have to reawaken people to take that power back. So bravo to the UK for going ahead and showing that Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party, etc., are on the rise. Let's see us do that in the United States. Let's see us do that in the United States. Wake your friends, get your friends moving. Do not let them go back to sleep. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives. Have a great day, everybody.